Okay, fans, today's guest comes all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's a busy man in the wrestling world. It's the Puerto Rican pit bull, Gino Rivera. How's it going,
Yes.
bro?
I'm doing wonderful. I am a busy man, an even busier wrestler, but God is good, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to
Yeah, we're
finally sit down and do this.
we're definitely glad and happy to have you on the Eeez and Beez podcast finally. I got to catch up with you just a few weeks back, and before we even get started, I'm going to let my fans know out there, I was very, very impressed with your performance. You wrestled 3 times that night, and at the end of the night, I gave away a T-shirt to the wrestler of the night, and then I gave away a little micro brawler to what I thought was the smoothest performance of the evening. And bro, you got it, and I think you well deserved it. And for my fans out there, if you have not seen Gino wrestle, please go check him out. We'll get to that here in just a minute where you can find him. But hey, buddy, I want to get things rolling real quick here. Let's tell my fans and listeners out there, how'd you get your start in wrestling?
I was going to a WWF show and WWE now, and I was going to the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And as you guys know, there's a bunch of people passing out flyers everywhere and, promoting their show, promoting their band or their clothing line. And I got this flyer and I was like, dude, I don't want to see strippers. I threw it, right? I
Yeah.
went to the show, enjoyed, I was screaming my head off for all my favorite stars, came back out, same flyer. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is this? And I was like, what are you giving me? Like, why is everybody handing me this? He's like, oh, pro wrestling. We're doing, a live training camp, whatever. And I was like, oh, wait. Did you say wrestling? And he's like, yeah, like we have a school. Check it out. Log online, check out our MySpace at the time.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I basically freaking signed up for the class and got a phone call. And it was from Joey Chaos, who is a former XPW wrestler, and Jezebel, who is his wife. And they called me and said, come down, check it out, and let's see what, if you're interested. And I was like, I will be there tomorrow. So I was. That's how I got started. I went to a house and they had a giant ring, and it was just everything I wanted. And I was like, when can I sign up? Let's do it. I signed up. 12 years later, I'm still here.
Awesome. Well, that's
Yeah.
great. 12 years in, we know this business is not easy to maintain in. So that's great that you've been around that long. I did a little research on you, read up a little bit on your page there. You've got a great story. Why don't you tell my fans just a little bit about it?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not even sure where to even start. I've had a tough road, tough upbringing. I was given up for adoption. My real mom was a prostitute, a hooker, and I don't know my dad. I barely have family members. Um, Being adopted saved my life, and just even being in Brooklyn, in New York, just the people around me in my neighborhood who looked after me, who took care of me, and just made sure that I was doing the right thing and stayed out of the streets, as they call it, because the streets will kill you, and just kept me on the right path. You know what I mean? I had fortunate people around me who I wish were still here today, who are not. And I like to say that I wrestle in an honor of them. I've got to make it for them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a receipt, a payback. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I just had the toughest upbringing, but I have no excuses because that prepared me for everything I'm going through now. And it's part of the reason why I'm so successful.
Absolutely. I believe that 100%. And yeah, like you said, it's tough business that we're in, but I think sometimes people overlook obviously what this business gives, and your story is one of those. So let's get onto a different path here, buddy. Let's talk about this. Who's your favorite wrestler all time?
My favorite wrestler is sitting right on my wall. His name is The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
Without The Undertaker, um, I don't even know where I'd be. That man has kept me sane, has given me so much joy, and I don't know. I've never missed one Undertaker match since I've seen him as a kid. Like I've followed his career. You know what I mean? The inside of my boots are purple because of him. It's a tribute. I wear black and purple boots as a tribute to my hero. Funny story. I actually, it took me 20 something years. I can't remember how many years, but at least 20 something years to meet the Undertaker. And when I did, I've met a lot of famous people. I've been around a lot of famous people, and I was starstruck with the Undertaker. I could not get any words out of my mouth. I remember sitting in line waiting to meet him, and the lady was like, "Do you want it on our camera or your camera?" And I was like, "I want the picture now. I want it on my phone. I don't need your camera. I want it on my phone. This is my hero. This is my idol." And the whole time he's sitting down and he's with his hand out, waiting to shake my hand. But I have my back towards him, and I'm trying to tell the lady, "Okay, take it this far. Make sure you clean the lenses. I need it perfect. This is my hero." Blah blah blah. And I turn around, and he's like this, and I shake his hand. He's like, "You good?" And I was like, "Uh-huh." I take the picture and I walk away. And that was it.
You didn't say a word, huh?
I did not get to say one word. And if I had one thing to say to him, it would have been, "Thank you for inspiring a kid like myself. You've made me the happiest kid ever." You know what I mean? Even though going through what I went through, Undertaker was that joy. So he holds so much prestige in my heart, but I could not tell him that. But I promise I will be able to tell him that again one day, someday, somewhere, sometime. I know he retired, but if I got to sit my butt in line for 4 hours to tell him that again, I'm going to. So that's
I believe you. I believe in you. I know you'll get there. Hey, here's a funny side note. My 4-year-old is a huge, and I mean huge, Undertaker fan. I don't know where she got it from, but she's only 4, but she doesn't like any other wrestler. You ask her anybody, it's nobody but the Undertaker.
Starting her off right.
Right. Hey, let's keep things going here on the Eeez and Beez podcast. I got a good question for you here, Gino. How about this one? You're going to have breakfast tomorrow. You can have it with any wrestler or any wrestling personality. Now, we kind of touched on that, but maybe change it up. And you're going to have to make it. Who's it going to be, and what are you making?
Oh, gosh. Does it have to be just one?
Okay, I'll give you 2.
All right, Minoru Suzuki, and I'd say Yokozuna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. And Doink the Clown would have been my third.
All right, that's a strange one. All right, okay.
So, but with Minoru
he's a good talent. Let's be honest. We know that. He's a good talent.
I was captivated as a kid. I loved gimmicks. So with Minoru Suzuki, I would like to make him. I have this little thing for Hawaiian food. So it's called musubi. Okay. And what it is seaweed, spam, and rice cut in like a square. And you wrap it, and it's just like a little snack. And it's the most fulfilling snack ever. So I'd like delicious. To make Minoru Suzuki musubi. And with Yokozuna, I would try to attempt to make his favorite meal that he loves so much. I would try to make turkey ass.
Yeah.
I would try to make that and taste it. Because, I mean, it sounds good, but does it really sound good? Does it taste good? So I would try.
They make it sound good. You're right. That's about as far as we'll leave it. All right. Hey, how about this one? What's your favorite thing, or what do you love the most about wrestling?
I love the adrenaline I get going to the ring. It's a spark of like lightning that I get. I don't really get nervous. And a lot of people go, when you stop getting nervous, get out of the business. And I believe that's false, because after a while you should feel like this is like putting on a pair of shoes. It's just
like normal, going to work. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Put on your hat, or grab your pen, sit at your desk and start working. For me, it's the same. But when I am going out to the ring, I have this like spark of energy that is just, I can't even explain, but I'm just ready. I'm ready for the world. At that moment in time, I feel like there is nobody better than me when I'm walking to that ring, and I just transform into this beast of a man. Then I that I think I am at the moment. But I love the adrenaline I get, and I love playing my character. I love being the chicken S word heel. You know what I mean?
Sure,
That's what
sure.
I am, and I love being booed. I don't like being the cool heel or, oh, I like him, but I love to hate him. No, I want you to absolutely despise me as a human being. And I love that.
Well, that's awesome. And that's the best way to be, I think, if you're going to be a heel for sure. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion. Hey,
Yeah.
how about this crazy one for you? All right, we're going to go to a documentary showing next week about the life of you. What's the name of it? And who's playing you?
Whoa. I've never been asked that. That is amazing. The life and documentary about me. I would title it the struggle, because that's what I feel like I'm in. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Even
sure.
constantly, like right now at the moment, I feel like I'm in this constant struggle of trying to get to my destination, but things keep knocking me off my path, or I take a bumpy road here and there. So I call it the struggle. And who would play me? I'm gonna.
Now, it could be anybody. It could be somebody that looks like you. It doesn't have to be a wrestler. It could be any famous actor.
Do you know who Joe Pesci is?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Good for
Yeah,
I know Joe.
I'd say him.
Man, that would be a good one. Oh man.
I
Not only
think
just to see like some of your story of your life, but to see Joe Pesci play the wrestling part of your life, that would be classic, I think.
Yes. See, and his personality is totally me. Is totally me. Like I love that guy.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this one. What's the top 3 podcast you're listening to right now?
Something to Wrestle With. Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard. I like Grilling JR. And there's another one. Keeping It 100 with Conan. Okay. I like Bruce Pritchard's. That is my number one. I listen to every single episode. I just love all of his stories. And with Grilling JR, it's all right. I don't feel like Jim Ross is being as honest as he could be. I always feel like he's trying to still get his job back, so he holds back a little, right? He goes off on a rant, but I just don't feel like it's legit. And then with Keeping It 100, which, oh my God, like that show I laugh uncontrollably. I love just disco. I used to hate disco. I think I still do hate disco, but I like listening to him because he's such a punk, man.
And I think that's honesty. What he wants. I really think that's what he wants. He wants everybody to hate him no matter what he does for the rest of his life.
Role. He's playing the role, but I mean, I literally in WCW, I hated disco.
Me too.
And then I got to work not with him, but in a locker room with him in New Mexico, and he was a really nice guy. But I was just like, I still don't like him. Like I don't you. Like I am not a fan of
burnt in your head, right?
Yeah. I don't want a picture with you. I don't want your autograph. I'm not a fan of disco. You're just another guy here. And then like now that I listen to him every single week, he's hilarious. And I love Conan's brutal like honesty, and his dry sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I listen to those podcasts religiously.
Well, we love all the wrestling podcasts here on the Eeez and Beez. All right, man, I got just a few left for you before I turn the table over to you and let you promote yourself. So let me ask you this one. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh man, a superpower. Yikes. Something to do with like control. Like I would like to control people. I would like to make people do things like where I don't know. I don't know if it counts as the same, but I could like freeze, pause time, and then like I think there was a movie like that. Was it Click? Where like you could pause you and then make you pick your own nose and then unpause you. Like I don't know if that's a superhero thing, but maybe I could do something with my fingers and kind of
in the wrestling world, we know it would work. That would be perfect. I mean, you could be in trouble, pause, let's get out of the trouble. Boom, you're right back on top.
Yes, I could do that. I mean, instead of getting pinned, I could flip myself over and actually pin, get my win back on Darby Allin.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, all right. Whatever power that is, I'd like that.
Okay. Got two more for you, man. And I'll let you get out of here after you get the table turned over to you here. Let me ask you this last one here on the wrestling side. Uh, what's your personal favorite match of all time?
My personal favorite match of all time. Gosh. I mean, this is an easy one. I made my WWE debut in February of 2018 on 205 Live. It's on the WWE Network. It's episode 65, and I wrestled a tag team match with Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik, and this was in Phoenix, Arizona, and it was just such like a dream come true. If I died the next day, I would have been the happiest kid because my dream came true. I got to work for my dream promotion. I got to work for Vince McMahon. I got to step in a WWE ring and not get squashed, not just say a line and get beat up. I got to go out there and showcase what I do best, and that's wrestling. And to top it off, I was a WCW mark. I loved cruiserweights. And my agent for the match was Dean Malenko. And just there's so many blessings that happened to me that night. Like, how I got the match of, we had a tryout to see what we could do before the show. And I went in there and, I thought I did good, but Billy Kidman didn't think I did. And then there was an odd man out and they needed a guy in there. They're like, hey, he needs a partner. And I said, this is my second chance. I ran to the ring, slid in, and I was like, let's go. And we didn't call anything. We didn't plan anything. It was just on the fly, as they call it. And I came back out and I thought I did good. And Billy Kidman didn't think I did good. And somebody else was like, I think he's the one. Let's use him tonight. And it was strictly because I used the lucha. A lot of guys were just doing the American style, and I tried to show them different ways. And it was just awesome. Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, all those guys pulled me aside and they were like, I like the way you work, but this is what you need to clean up. And they're just the sweetest people in the world. Another blessing, you know what I mean, for people to pull me aside. And like I said, I got on that stage and I did what I did best and I fulfilled my dream. I got a taste, but I'm still hungry. So I want to be there now. I don't want to be an extra anymore. I want to find out, how do I get a job? How do I get employed here? So that is my all-time favorite match. Again, 205 Live, episode 65 with Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado.
That's an awesome story, Gino. And that's why I like bringing people like you here on the E's and B's, because, not just because you've been to that stage, you're still fighting to be at that stage. And yes. Sometimes the indies get overlooked. And that's why I love bringing people like you, like I said, onto my show, because I feel like you got to shine the light a little bit more on where it begins and how hard you guys put, or how much work you guys put into what you do. It needs to be seen a little bit more on the bigger stage, in my opinion. So, man, that's kind of cool. Well, man, I got one more for you, and I'm going to turn it over to you, buddy. This is kind of the heartfelt going away one. What do you want the Gino Rivera wrestling legacy to be when it's all said and done?
I've answered this one to myself. I want to be known as one of the best performers to come out of wrestling. If I'm not the best wrestler, I know for damn sure I am entertaining as a bad guy. Maybe not so much a good guy, but I can do both. But as my bad boy persona, my heel gimmick, I want to be known as one of the best. And I think right now, I believe I'm one of the 10 hottest free agents right now, unsigned, no contract, that needs to get locked away and needs to be signed somewhere. I have so much to give, so much to offer. I'm a smart kid. I've stayed out of trouble. I prepared my whole life to be signed to the WWE. Well, now there's more options. There's New Japan and AEW. But initially, I prepared my whole entire life. I graduated, went to college. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've never had an energy drink. I've stayed clean. I've never been in jail. I have great credit. I'm intelligent and I'm smart. And I believe in myself as a person and as a wrestler. And I think that stands out enough to be hired. So the legacy I want to leave behind is that, you know what I mean? When the red light is on, it's go time. And Gino Rivera is one of the best on the scene. And I'm leaving a lot of if something ever happens to me, there will always be a lot of footage and something you can study of that, because I am constantly promoting. Also, I upload things every single day, almost hourly, because there's so much content that I like putting out. You will not forget the name Gino Rivera.
Man, well, you will always have our support here at the Eeez and Beez, and we will always have your back no matter where you go, buddy. We want to thank you so much for coming on. Before I let you go, bud, though, I want you to let my fans know out there, where can they find you at, or where can they support you at, my man?
You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Gino Told You So. Told You So, one word. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, I said TikTok, Facebook, you name it. I am all over there. You can find me on Linktree. I've got a ton of events. I'm coming to a city near you. Guys, I'm booked out all the way till July, every single weekend. And you guys can definitely find me as far as tomorrow. I'm going to be in Amarillo, Texas, fighting for the Panhandle Championship. And then I'll make my way down to Florida for the next 2 weeks, then to Colorado, then back to San Diego, then back to Colorado, then back to Texas, and then Texas again. And that's just April. And if I keep going, May, I'll be back in California the 1st, and the 8th, I'll be back in California. The 15th, I'm in a strap match in Arizona. The 22nd, I'm back in Texas, and then back to the 29th, I'm back in California. Guys, I love this so much, and I've had so many people inspire me to be the best person I can be and to live out my dreams. And I just want to just say to anybody listening out there, if you've got a dream, hold on to it, chase it. Don't let anybody take that away from you guys. I'm living out my dream. This is so much fun, guys. And I don't think there will ever be anything else that can give you an adrenaline rush as much as this. I love getting on planes. I love driving. I love performing in front of the fans. I love beating up people. I love getting beat up. But definitely this is something I love, and you can see it when I'm in the ring. So come out and see me. Follow me online. Check me out. Podcast here, matches there, pitches there. I've got it all ready for you.
Well, man, like I said, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you on, brother. We'll have the links and descriptions below, folks. Like he said, he's a busy man in the wrestling world. It's the Puerto Rican Pitbull, Gino Rivera.